Hello there, and welcome back to the Big Take Spooky Season. Today you're getting a mix of education, nightmare fuel, and enough body horror to make Cronenberg blush. But first, let's defrost the thing, with a new segment I call Quick History, where I attempt to get you educated as fast as I possibly can without passing out. The Thing, released in 1982, directed by John Carpenter, who by this point had already made Halloween, Escape from New York, and apparently was allergic to giving audiences happy endings. The film flopped whenever it was released because apparently E.T. was cuddly and people weren't ready for a dog that fucking melts into spaghetti. But over the decades, it's become one of the most respected sci-fi horrors ever made. Now, the real wizard behind the slime was Rob Bottin, a 21-year-old special effects prodigy who had basically lived on set, sleeping under desks, nearly dying from exhaustion and inventing half of what modern practical horror is. When Bottin finally burned out, Stan Winston, yes, that's Stan Winston of Predator and Jurassic Park fame, came in to finish one of the dog effects. Fucking hell. So between Carpenter's icy paranoia and Bottin's goo-covered genius, you get this. A movie that's so disgusting, it's beautiful. But here's the question. Were these effects just wild, gory decorations? Or are they what makes the film actually work? Off the bat, this score is insane. Like Vangelis fell asleep on a synthesizer during an avalanche. Then, that title card. Gorgeous, iconic. Why don't we do title cards anymore? If you make something this cool, stand by the name, goddammit. So, a dog sprinting across the snow being hunted down by a Norwegian guy with a rifle and a frozen beard. And this man might be the worst shot in cinema. He's firing from a moving helicopter at a moving target on moving snow. He's basically role-playing as a stormtrooper. Carpenter loves a good sign. It's his thing. Even his signage builds tension. Ho ho ho, you're welcome, Connor. Why the fuck does John Carpenter sound like Santa, you ask? Go fuck yourself, that's why. So Captain America's dad, that's Kurt Russell by the way, whose actual son grew up to play John Walker, steps out of his quarters wearing sunglasses like a man who just knows shit's about to go wrong. The Norwegians land, forget how grenades work, and end up blowing up their own helicopter. Tragic. So naturally, the Americans adopt the dog they were shooting at, because nothing bad has ever happened from adopting strange animals in horror movies. So Mac and his crew fly out to the Norwegian base to see what the hell happened. And this place looks like Elsa's meth lab. There's an axe in the wall, a guy frozen mid-scream like he just checked his heating bill, and of course a giant block of ice with something missing from inside of it. Then outside, they find this lovely little gooey sculpture of two human corpses fused together like a Cronenberg macaroni art project, and Mac sums it up perfectly.
Whatever it is, they burn it up in a hurry.
So they end up bringing back that mess to the base, and man, it still looks absolutely disgusting. And 40 years later, I can still smell this scene through the screen. Then night falls. The dog's just chilling under tables, stalking the corridors like it pays rent, but then the kennel door creaks open. The dog steps in, sits down like a perfect gentleman, and then proceeds to melt into pure nightmare fuel. Spaghetti limbs, roach legs, tendrils sprouting like evil pasta, and the other dogs start barking. But yeah, paracetamol isn't gonna fix this. It's equal parts disgusting and beautiful. Rob Bottin, take a bow, you weird genius. But the crew hear the commotion and rush in like the world's most confused Avengers. And Childs grabs a flamethrower, because that's what leadership is. And this right here, is the moment the film shifts. These effects aren't just eye candy, they're the point. The dog's transformation isn't decoration. It's the story's first visual statement about imitation, infection, and paranoia made flesh. Well, what weird smelly dog flesh that is. So Mac digs up some old Norwegian footage, and it's basically a how-to guide on unearthing alien plagues. They find the same crater from the UFO in the film's opening. It's full circle, baby. But this circle happens to have been buried under the ice for 100,000 years. Dr. Blair plugs the info into a computer that somehow predicts the extinction of humanity. Probability of infection, 75%. Probability of Blair staying calm, absolutely fucking zero.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
So naturally, he grabs a gun and starts blasting. He kills the radios, wrecks the chopper, and commits light homicide on the dogs. You know, normal Tuesday meltdown. Mac and the crew eventually wrestle him down and lock him up in the tool shed. Mac leaves him some booze like, there champ, don't fucking kill anyone else. Back inside, tensions boil. Somebody's tampered with the blood samples, which means the thing could be, well, anyone. Windows goes into full panic mode, grabs a gun, and Gary grabs another. And for a second, it's Reservoir Dogs Antarctica edition. Mac finally takes the charge, burns the blood, and decides he's testing everyone. He even ties up Gary, Copper, and Clark like they're in the world's most awkward sleepover. And at this point, paranoia is the real monster. The effects just fuel it. Carpenter shows you enough slime early on, so that now every silent glance feels dangerous. Then some more confusion over who the alien is happens, and then there's the most iconic scene in the film. So they're doing CPR on Norris, his dead body's on the table, and everyone's watching nervously. And then, the fucking chest opens up and bites the doctor's arms off. Everyone's screaming, tendrils everywhere, viscera in the air, and Norris Thing's head detaches and stretches its neck like mozzarella, and then fucking grows spider legs. So Mac torches it, the crew stares in disgust, and Gary sums it up beautifully.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
But again, that's the magic. You believe this horror because it's tactile. I mean, it's actually there in the goddamn room. So Mac goes the way of MatPat and comes up with a theory. Every piece of the thing acts like a separate organism. Hot wire in the blood equals instant feedback. So everyone's tied up, the stakes are high, he dips the wire, and when Palmer's blood screams and jumps out of the petri dish, it's pure cinematic perfection. Instant payoff, and zero CGI. Windows panics again and gets eaten, and Mac puts those leadership flamethrower skills to use.
Alright, that's too hot. Anything we can do about that heat?
Rick, it's a flamethrower.
Yeah.
And that's the rhythm of this film. Calm, then panic, then Mac gets the flamethrower. And every cycle reinforces the same idea. The monster isn't seen until it's too late. The effects make that tangible, and you're never sure what's human until it explodes. After the test, only a few men remain. So they go to check on Blair, the man they locked up, and discover a tunnel dug beneath the shed. Down there, a half-built UFO. So apparently the thing's been doing fucking overtime. They decide to burn everything, thinking if they can't survive, neither will it. Cue the slow march of doom. Flares, dynamite, and rumbling bass. And I mean seriously, listen to that soundtrack. Mac torches every room like he's trying to delete the save file, but eventually, Blair Thing pops up, a grotesque fusion of human, dog, and pure nightmare. And Mac decides to shout something wonderfully heroic like,
Yeah, fuck you too!
And this miniature set explosion is glorious. Everything blows sky high, an entire base vaporized in practical explosions. No CGI particles, no compositing, just miniature sets and craftsmanship. After the smoke clears, Mac stumbles out, ready to die in peace as the sole survivor. But hold the phone. Is that fucking Childs appears, conveniently after all the explosions, and they sit together in the snow, freezing, with no trust left between them. Mac passes the bottle, Childs takes a drink, and they laugh, but it's not friendly. There are no answers, no survivors, no hope. All that's left is just paranoia and mistrust. So, do the effects make the thing? I would say, absolutely. Without them, this isn't a horror masterpiece. It's a bunch of men arguing in the snow. Bottin's creations turn fear into something you can touch. Every melted face, every limb, every practical nightmare reminds you, this isn't about aliens. It's about trust collapsing. Carpenter used practical effects not to shock, but to prove his story's logic. That's why the thing still looks better than most modern horrors do, because you can't fake texture, and you can't fake fear that you can feel. So yeah, the effects aren't just the decoration, they're the heartbeat. And 40 years later, it's still pumping pure terror. Anyways, I'm off to make sure my cat's still my cat. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your alien pets spayed and neutered, and if someone hands you a flamethrower, you probably missed a few sounds. Stay frosty, and like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Apologies for the delay in uploading this video. With the amount of gore, it was not an easy edit to get for YouTube. And as for what's next, we're swapping the Antarctic cold for something a little bit more toy-like and knife-wielding. I'll see you soon. Doodles.